Hey, today we are going to talk about healing your nervous system and overcoming chronic fatigue and other issues related to nervous system health. So, hey, my name's Rochelle Walsh and I'm a complex trauma therapist. I have a transformational coaching program for women. And today I want to talk about nervous system health because it's so often missed. I'm going to talk about it from the aspect of chronic fatigue because I hear this a lot. So, if you can relate to this, waking up in the morning, not feeling rested, feeling like maybe you've been bracing all night, pushing through your day, maybe driven by adrenaline or caffeine. You can't wait to be able to get to sleep at night, but then you lay down to sleep and maybe you can't leave work at home or you can't leave home at home and your mind is racing and the cycle persists like this. So one of the things that I heard recently, and it's in one of my YouTube testimonials that someone said, is she said, I did all kinds of problems. I just thought that poor sleeping was part of how I was wired because all the women in my family struggle with it. I had done all kinds of medication, sleeping programs. And so when she came to my program, she didn't even have that as something that she was setting as a goal because she thought it was unfixable. And so I want to tell you today that a lot of the things that people chase as symptoms, like fatigue, sleep issues, brain fog, memory issues, gut issues, headaches, muscle tension, all other kinds of things. I think this is one of the things that's really missing when it comes to understanding how powerful the nervous system can be and how that nervous system can really be a superpower for all kinds of things. So rather than having one goal, like I need to sleep better at night and that being your goal and focusing on routines and things, not that those aren't good. It is very good to have healthy bedtime routines, like shutting off, blue light an hour before going to bed at the same time every night. We've probably already heard that. Sometimes, making sure your levels of magnesium, and there's many things that we can think of in terms of strategies, taking a bath, winding down, reading at night, having the same schedule, sleeping in a cool room, all kinds of strategies. But when we focus on specific tools for specific issues, a lot of times we'll find that they're unsuccessful. And that oftentimes is the case if we have a nervous system stuck in overdrive. And by that, I mean hypervigilance, meaning that your brain is in fight or flight. Your brain and your body are in fight or flight. And you have these beta waves, which are fast waves where you can't stop thinking. Your mind is going. And if we think about the brain waves that we have to be in deep sleep, like we're down here, right? We need to get to the theta and delta waves. But from beta, it takes a long time to wind down. So when we try to employ strategies to be able to get better sleep so that we're not fatigued, but we don't deal with this nervous system dysregulation, we really are trying much harder than we have to. So what I always love seeing is when I work with people with nervous system dysregulation, all of a sudden they start experiencing wins or goals that they didn't even know that they could achieve. I've had people say, oh, my migraines have gone away to almost nothing. My psoriasis are gone. I've noticed myself doing this. My lifelong fear of flying is no longer giving me anxiety, or I can shut my mind off at night, or I'm not responding personally and I have more energy throughout the day. I'm sleeping better. I'm sleeping better than I have in years. So I want to explain this concept of nervous system dysregulation as it relates to fatigue. So if we think about the energy that it takes to just, get up in the morning, get breakfast, get our clothes on, take our shower, get ready for work, or do whatever we're doing at home, there's a certain amount of energy that our body expends just to do tasks. So when we're in a restful state, though, we only exert the energy required for that task. But when we are operating out of fight or flight and we have a state of urgency, it's like our nervous system is sprinting. So imagine the energy that it would take for you to walk from maybe where you are to, the other side of the building or into the parking lot, and up the stairs to work. It would require a certain amount of energy and you could do that task. But how much more traveling the same distance, how much more exerted and fatigued would you feel if you sprinted that distance? So when we think about nervous system regulation, dysregulation, we want to think about that as our nervous system sprinting. And while it's really good for us to be able to have the agency and the activity to get out of the building if it were burning, if our nervous system is stuck in that state when there's no burning building and it's just in the on position and it's sprinting all the time, it's really exhausting systems in our body. So not only does it not allow us to get to sleep at night and keeps us up because it's a hyper alert state, and that hyper alert state says it's really not safe or really not okay for you to relax. You need to be like sleeping with one eye open. And so that fatigues us. But then just the normal tasks of getting through the day. And I hear these things from people often. They'll say things like, I'm barely functioning. I'm pushing through my day. I'm disconnected. I'm moving through, but I'm in a fog. I'm there, but I'm not really there. Things take me twice as long because I can't concentrate. I can't perform mental tasks. I'm missing things. I'm forgetting things. I don't have the memory of that special event with my family because I was somewhere up here in my head. They also, just say things like, it feels like I'm treading water, barely keeping my head above water, because simple tasks become very difficult, not only from the cognitive deficit, but because we're exhausted. The other thing that happens in fight or flight is because the lower regions of our brain are getting the attention, getting the energy to because we're in survival mode, of course, it shunts energy away from the prefrontal cortex. So there's less activation in those parts of our brain that problem solve, that remember, that, make decisions easily, executive function. So as we get less activity over there, because again, our nervous system is sprinting, taking all the energy away, we get tasks take us twice as long. So people will realize they're not performing like they used to. So what do? It takes them longer. They stay longer at work to get caught up. It really can become a catch-22. Similarly, when we're in a stress response, what happens to our digestive tract? The blood goes away, it goes to our arms and our legs so that we could get out of the burning building fast, and our digestion ceases. So then, we get digestive issues, our immune system suffers, we get sick, we get worn down. And it really is this snowball. So my husband practices functional medicine. And so I'm a huge proponent. And if you know our story at all, we've had a huge amount of struggles in our family with autoimmunity and with our daughter recovering from a head injury, which consequently I've been a complex trauma therapist for many years, but that experience really helped me understand the brain and the nervous system in a different way and see how that impacts all areas of life. But as we were learning through those things and moving through those seasons, my husband specializes in autoimmunity. We have made huge in our family lifestyle changes, diet changes. I'm big on supplementation and health, and I've been very fortunate that I've had really good health, and those things support me. So again, a big proponent of, functional medicine and that type of thing. But oftentimes what I see with the women that I work with is that they have taken action to address the health issues. So they're doing a lot of things. They've done testing, they've done supplementation, they're trying yoga, they're trying deep breathing, they're trying all the things to be able to calm their body, or they're reading and they want more energy. So they're taking their B vitamins and drinking their drinks. In addition to coffee, many of them are drinking, things that are supposed to be healthy and drinking, or they're taking probiotics for their gut health. And while those things are really good to be doing, I want to also just remind you that if you have a nervous system that's in a dysregulated state, and this can come from several different drivers, we can see that there's developmental things that might have led to this, early imprints from trauma, seasons of prolonged chronic stress. But if you have nervous system dysregulation, you will eventually, sadly, feel that in your body. Rather, if it's muscle tension, if it's headaches, if it's gut pain, if it's autoimmune, if it's skin issues. And so people get in this spiral of chasing health symptoms and trying to figure out how to take care of their body, how to get their energy back. But if you do not fix the underlying core drivers of nervous system dysregulation, you're going to be treating one health issue after the other. So while sometimes, I might do an assessment or evaluation with someone and recommend them to my husband for testing if the nervous system dysregulation came directly from a health issue or seems like it correlates to that. But more often than not, people will say things that really cue you in to know that nervous system dysregulation is the cause of the health issue, not the other way around. So they will say things like, I've always been this way. Maybe I've always been a worrier, or I've always been the performer. I always could never be doing enough. I had to be the one that was always getting the straight A's and working really hard. It's never been really easy for me to relax. Or I don't know that I've ever been able to shut my mind off easily. I've always been pretty perfectionistic, and it just finally catches up with them. So those kinds of patterns in the subconscious that drive us to a place where there's fatigue, where there's autoimmunity, those drivers of the nervous system dysregulation, if you do not fix those, you can treat one health issue, but then it's going to pop up somewhere else. But again, the good news is if you treat the nervous system, people go, oh, all of a sudden, wow, I didn't realize it, but I haven't been taking that daily Excedrin for my headache. Or, oh, wow, I didn't realize it, but I was out at the pool and all of a sudden it's like, oh my goodness, my psoriasis are gone. Or I woke up with energy and I found myself doing creative projects where normally I would just check out at work because there was nothing left. Or I had a good time and I actually had energy to entertain because I used to love doing that, but I've been so fatigued that I couldn't do that. So what I want to say in this video about fatigue is that it's great if you get a new pillow and you work on that bedtime routine and you do things that are healthy for you, like, exercise, diet and exercise. But there is a deeper issue that is often at play when it comes to fatigue. So don't let it stop there, because if you treat that underlying issue, it's going to be like a domino and you're going to see the impact go in many different positive directions in many areas of your life. And by nervous system regulation, it's not just about one time doing a cold plunge or doing something that in the moment brings it down. It's the repetition of things, which is why I love working with the people in the way that I do now. Even though I love the connection with individual clients in my office, I like working with people in a program now in where we can help them daily and where I can work with them very closely over 90 days. Because when you're talking about nervous system dysregulation, you're wanting to build a new neural pathways for calm. So it's not about just getting energy for the day. It's about creating a shift in the nervous system that allows it to live in a state of rest rather than go, hypervigilance, urgency, gotta do more. Because when you teach and train the nervous system to be in a state of rest, good things happen. So I hope this is helpful for you, and I would encourage you to look at the fatigue or low energy that you're experiencing and ask yourself, is this really just attached to one season of my life? Or there's some patterns that I can see that go way back. And if you're having, a cascade of symptoms, rather than overwhelming yourself with those symptoms, to really work at, restoring nervous system health is going to be a lot bigger bang for your buck and a lot easier lifting than dealing with health issues. So I hope that's helpful. If you like this content, please subscribe to my channel. I would love that a lot. I also, if you are interested in applying for my Joyful and Present program, which is taking women from a state of overwhelm and burnout to calm and confident in their emotions, we do a lot of work around nervous system regulation, core belief reprogramming, increasing emotional regulation capacity. I adore the women that I work with. It's a great place to be if you want help. There's a link to a masterclass, a free masterclass that will give you more information about that. And if it resonates, go ahead and book a call to chat with me so that we can help see if maybe that's something that would be helpful for you. Have a great day.